episode of Yoga Anywhere. Today we're going to be learning how to do 8-angle pose or Astavakrasana. And this pose is a pretty cool looking arm balance, something that if you've looked up yoga poses, you've probably seen on things like Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest. And I feel like it's the type of pose that, at least for me, when I was learning it, I was like, man, I'm never going to be able to do that because arm balances aren't my strength. But I'm going to show you a couple of ways to prep for it. Hi Cleo, this is Cleo. She's in my Airbnb here in Antigua, and I think she might practice with us too. I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to sort of prep for it and then show you how to get into it. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is kind of open up the hips. So if it's the morning for you, maybe doing a little bit of a more intense hip opener would be good. If you tend to be pretty tight in your hips in general, it would be good to open up a little bit more. I'm already pretty warm though, so we're just going to do a couple basic ones that if you're warm as well, it'll really help you get into the pose. So we're going to start with the left leg, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up, grab your left foot with your right hand, and then support your knee with your left hand, and just start opening your hip up from side to side. I'm going to have to kick Cleo off the mat if she doesn't go on her own, just because she's actually in my foot extension line. And then if you're feeling pretty good here, you can bring your foot into the crease of your elbow, interlace your hands, and just start rocking like this. And so I don't really think this has an official yoga pose name, but I like to call it a rock the baby or rock the leg. It's a pretty fun little pose to kind of just play around with. Just going to do this for a bit and then move into some circles with this, so starting to get some more motion. And then what we're going to do from here is we're going to release the leg, but we're going to put it up on the shoulder. And so what I want you to do is just get it up on your shoulder and then practice extending your right leg and just pushing up into your hands. And so you might just practice with your foot on the ground just a couple of times, rocking back and forth, just to start engaging those abdominals. Really good. Okay, before we go any further, let's warm up the other leg. So foot, knee, rocking side to side. Breathing while you do it. And then if you're feeling pretty good here, bring the foot into your elbow, and then rocking that leg. And then starting to just go in circles. This probably is going to feel a little bit awkward. That's pretty normal. Just kind of going with it. And then once you've got that, just bringing that leg up and over onto the shoulder, bringing your hands down, extending that leg long, and just practicing kind of getting up off your booty here, just to start engaging. And then releasing out of it. And so I think you're just in my way a little bit. Can you just scoot your knee a little? Can you just scoot a little? Okay, we'll just move over. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to attempt to get into the posture now. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by bringing that foot up again, just how we did before. Planting your hands down, interlacing that right foot on top, extending long, and then bending your arms down towards you. So we'll just walk through that again. This cat is a bit distracting. So there's a couple different key things that you need to think about with this. There's kind of this like pull of your legs, so you kind of have to get that extension with the push of your hands. So you're gonna have that foot nice and high, getting your hands kind of in place. So you'll have to play around with where is the best for your arms. The further you have it out, the more you've got to do sort of like a push-up as opposed to like a chaturanga. So hooking that foot, this is really, really important. Finding that arm position, extending your legs long, and then kind of finding your balance. And then from there, you'll kind of find that your booty does like a little bit of like will kind of determine your weight back and forth. So just about engaging kind of towards the midline, hugging everything towards the midline, and feeling sort of like where you're off balance, where you're swaying. So everyone always has a strong side. I think that was definitely my stronger side. It may take a little longer to learn your second side, but it's always good to keep practicing. So let's practice with this side. Legs up, hands are down, hook your foot on top, extend long, engage, and then gaze at your feet. And lowering back down. And so with that one, I don't know if you can see it, but I definitely feel like more of that like sway with my body. So it's a lot more about like bringing my legs together, pushing them out, and really engaging. So if you have the upper body strength to kind of do it, you'll be able to get into the pose. And then from there, it's just kind of honing those different things. So the key things you want to think about other than the mobility. So you of course want to be able to have the mobility of the leg. Interlacing the feet and pushing with them. So there's a difference between like if I just put my arms like this versus like actually pushing them against each other. You create a lot of strength through your entire arms. So that's what you want to be thinking about with your feet. Pushing them together and like making them a strong unit. You want to think about bringing them together and hugging that arm and then hugging your arms right towards your body. Bringing that all in together is going to cause you to use your core, engage your glutes, and it's going to make it a lot easier to stay in the pose. Ideally, you're able to stay there for about 30 seconds on either side, and just keep practicing that. If you're somebody like me who has like a little bit short arms compared to your torso, so you may have noticed that I'm actually pretty close to the ground, but when I bend my elbows, it's just the nature of the length of my arms. Something you can do is you can bring yourself up on yoga blocks. Yoga blocks is going to kind of help you with any mobility that you have, as well as just kind of help you get off the ground and get that confidence in the pose. So give that a try. Let me know if you have any questions. And otherwise, I'll see you next week. Namaste.